Hello, family and friends, and welcome to The Rhino Show. This show is dedicated to answering more technical questions that may affect your life, and I'm the policy nerd to answer your questions. I am Mike Reeder, and I had a friend ask me about tariffs and why I consider the Trump tariff plan to be not the best choice for funding government. Recently, the previous president, Donald Trump, stated he intends to place a 10% tariff on all imported goods. Also, a 60% tariff on all Chinese goods. Vice President Kamala Harris characterized these tariffs as the Trump tax. Mr. Tariff objected to the characterization as the Trump tax. But during the debate, Mr. Trump outright stated the Chinese would pay tariffs on goods coming from China, and implied other countries, which we import from, would pay those tariffs likewise. First, it doesn't work that way. Tariffs are imposed by the federal government in one or both of two ways. First is an ad valorem tariff. It is a percentage of the value of the good being imported, such as 10% on a certain product or from an identified country of origin. In Trump's plan is a 10% tariff on everything imported, and he reserves 60% tariff on all goods imported from China. The second type of tariff is a specific tariff, such as a fixed fee per unit of the good imported. For example, $10 per kilogram or ton of the material, such as steel or other commodities, or such as $1 per pair of shoes. The exporting country pays nothing for the tariffs. Money is collected at the border or port of entry by customs officials, usually based on the declared value of the quantity. The importers are required to pay the tariff prior to the good being allowed into the country. Please understand, the importers are in the business of turning a profit on trade. So, the importer will pass the higher cost of goods down the food chain. For example, the importer will charge the next in line, a broker, if there is one, who will pass the tariff on to the wholesaler, who will in turn charge more to the retailer, who will in turn charge more to the consumer, which is us. Well, not a generator of revenue, as we are taking money from ourselves and paying the government. Tariffs are often used to protect domestic industries from foreign competition by making imported goods more expensive than locally produced goods and encourage consumers to buy domestic products instead. Tariffs are also used as a tool in trade negotiations. Tariffs cost the consumer and drive up the prices of consumer goods, causing an increase in the cost of living. Tariffs can also cause retaliatory tariffs where the country exporting might impose a tariff against our exporters, leading to a trade war. And wars are generally not good. Tariffs might reduce the volume of imports and exports, disrupting the economy and the supply chain. While Trump has implied that his tariffs would replace the income tax as a source of revenue, the Tax Policy Center estimates it would replace only about 8% in the next 10 years. The Tax Policy Center estimates the lowest income households would pay about $320 more in tax per year. Middle income households would pay about $1,350 more, and the top 1/10% would pay about $133,000. The Tax Policy Center estimates Trump's tariffs would generate about $290 billion in new revenue in 2026 and gradually drop to $275 billion in 2034. If the exporting country paid the freight, tariffs might appear to be a good idea. But the reality is, U.S. consumers, manufacturers, and workers pay the levy. Tariffs are regressive and hurt the economy. They are opposite of free trade. There is nothing a classic conservative like myself would recognize as conservative about it. Let's get conservative values back in the Republican Party. Thank you for your time and attention. And to my friend, I hope this answers your questions. And to you, if this has been helpful in any way, I ask that you give me a like, a thumbs up, and maybe subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions you need answers, feel free to leave questions in the comment box or email therhinoshow1@gmail.com. That is therhinoshow1@gmail.com. This is Mike, and I am out.